ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Crusader Kings 3 Sri Lanka, in which this episode is going to be a special one, as we're going to take a break from the usual everyday business of Tambapanni, Sri Lanka, in which we decided to go to Split, the capital of the Kingdom of Croatia. Because you know why? Well, there's a good reason why. As I'll be traveling to there, as it's just only me, the Silk Road Merchant, the Caravan Master, my giant bodyguard, and my court physician, of course. And of course the Silk Road Merchant of Norwegian origin, which he's here with us, and he's also hunchback. He's a gardener too. Now, as I said, we're going to the Kingdom of Croatia, but it's not just Croatia. After a long day of travel, the horizon starts to bleed into the warm colors. I take a moment to pause, close my eyes and breathe. Careful, my caravan leader Cinebahu screams, pointing at the plains beyond the fiberwall. What looks like a small ruin running into the wild. After it, a brown figure I easily recognized. It's my cat. I'll just say, Mike is smarter than all of us. He'll find a way back. 50% chance it may come back on its own. 45% chance that the pet will find its way back. 5% I find my pet and something else. It may come back on its own. Does that mean I lost my cat? Rat hunting cat? And such. Our journey is violently interrupted by the sound of tearing flesh and gnashing jaws, and the desperate cries of a man is about to near his end. A noise so horrific it must have come from the depths of Naraka. Tempted to track this source desperate, we find a desperate Rada struggling with a wild leopard, the Sri Lankan leopard. His blade is wedged between the beast's jaws and his gripes beginning to falter. Help him, Vikrama! You are a giant. And superstitious too. Beat the leopard. Come on, you need to get out of this island nation. Journeying through Rajan Nagaya, I passed by a particular looking tent split open, with yet more particular looking occupant inside. Come in, almighty Rada. I can tell you have many miles to go. I can offer you a reading of your future travels for a modest price. The strange man has piqued interest in my entourage, but am I willing to pay for a reading? Only 10 gold? Well, I have good omens or bad omens about this 5-year travel. Travel bodes well. The road takes us to treacherous parts here. While I scan for any danger, the rustling bush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, Vikrama jumps out of the bush, holding a plant. You scare me, Vikrama. What do you have here? Yes, looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe just a little bit. Let him eat it. Painful stomach ache. You'll live. Okay, now we're at sea. Now, the purpose of why we're doing this, because it's going to take us through Baghdad, which I did customize the path so we can visit the House of Wisdom there. 2 emerald eyes as I follow me as I cross the hallway, or in this case inside the ship. A small meow breaks sound as might pounces from my ankle. He may be young, but he's nonetheless ferocious. As he prances away, he's left me a gleaming glib where he's been hiding. Thank you, kind sir. And then after that, we'll get to the Mediterranean, bypass most of the Roman Empire, and then you may have noticed we're crisscrossing around the areas of modern-day Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, and Montenegro. There's a good reason why. Because in the recent, well, it's only a month old now since the Regional Travels Events mod was updated, and the de jure areas of Kingdoms of Croatia and Serbia are among the areas updated. So they all have their own little flavor events that relates to travel. whenever you're traveling across the Northwest Balkan region. Now, the sea is calm and forgiving today. Still as a boulder and a powerful wind back to our boat. Seems it'll be an easy day for the rowers below. I spot a mangled corpse of a ship buried nose first, some jagged rocks just ahead. Does appear to be any survivors, and the rocks will be no trivial thing to navigate. Yet I feel compelled to go and investigate this mysterious wreck myself. Well, let's investigate, even though this is going to delay the journey. Might find something of value. Just as everyone had assumed, there were no survivors on the wreck. However, the clothes and goods left on the corpse would indicate that this was once a wealth-trading ship. Well, no surprise. Among the wreckage, I see exotic goods and luxurious clothing still intact, save for being a little wet, no doubt. These items will fetch a good price once you make it ashore. Good find. Don't you know this is part of the Maritime Silk Road? White squall, turn to port. Coxswain's horrifying yell does not suit the combat, but my ears are filled with an incredibly louder roar of the wind. Less than a heartbeat, the moist white mist that engulfs the whole ship. Louder than the wind, the main mast cracks and falls overboard. And as sudden as it came, the squall moves on. Our boat lazily rocks on the calm sea, dragging the torn sails and broken oars along. We don't want any more delays. Fear not, we have more sails. This is due to my entourage's maritime expertise. We were prepared for this. New rigging is swiftly erected from the stored sails and wooden beams. Again, we're traveling with Silk Road merchants and Antiquity ship owners. And look at the amount of dangers we had to be facing, especially when we get to the lands of basically former Yugoslavia in the bay. But at that time, in medieval times, it was back in the Roman days, it was called Ilaria. Home of the Illyrian people that once existed. Instead, we're just going across sea first. The Pipades of Goldbaya. I received word that Tambapanni, the ruler of Gaia, proclaimed himself to be the Pitapati, Lord of the Diamond Throne of Buddhism. Diamond Throne refers to the spot where Buddha attained enlightenment. This title reflects the immense responsibilities he has as the custodian and defender of the holy site of Bodh Gaya. He has gained much renown and respect amongst many Buddhists in the region for his contributions to the Buddhist community. Fascinating. This is what has happened that really gets. Yes? Yeah, he's the one that gets it. So as the Pitapati Lord Diamond Throne. So he's respected by many Buddhists for maintaining the holy sites around Bodh Gaya. Truly such deeds earn him great merit. So, as long as it's Buddhist, he has number of bonuses related to various Buddhist decisions, like stewardship, learning, piety, and safe life opinion. We respect you. Oh, who's the regent? Half-brother, uncle and regent. Selfless. If he's poor, then if he dies, then my other brother will have it, and he's also selfless. Don't worry, he'll keep the country together. Novice physician. I hope we get to meet new people whilst we're over there. And also some of you are asking, why are you traveling that way? Failed recruiter, what have you done? This way, fill coffers, we need more gold. There's a good reason for that. With these Silk Road merchants, once we're overland a bit, and then we spent a great time, one man overboard! As the choppy waters are enough to make any experienced sailor seasick. As you roll back and forth on the waves, people on the ship are slowly seek shelter below. I noticed Vikramabahu looking over the railing before turning to make his way in the hull deck. Before anyone has time to react, the ship hurls sideways for he falls into the dark water. No, not him. %, chance that I lose him. I don't want to lose him. the best bodyguard a man can have. I'll say, Sinabahu, quickly! Vikrama must survive this. You okay, man? Remember, it's only 4 of us out here, and the seas are thick with Ashkenaz traders going about their usual craft, carrying rare and exotic goods from one point to another. One such merchant ship holds an item with him that immediately takes my interest. The moment I lay my eyes upon the bejeweled Torah, I know I could never find anything like it back at Vikramabahu. It simply must be mine. Sea trader, eh? A Torah decorated with studded gemstones. Learning per level devotion. And mine it shall be. Yeah, I'll take it. And no, not again. We have more sails. I have some level devotion, so put that on. Even though I'm not Jewish, but still, that's something to learn from. I'm an open-minded person. I tolerate other heathens. Now we're in the middle of the Arabian Sea. Not coastal sea, but the sea. Nothing but open water. Sure thing. Thank goodness. Got more gold out of this. Now please remember, I cannot enact any decisions except donate to the Nalanda University when needed. You know, that doesn't contribute to, a few things. Well, we could try to establish a trade route again. Again, I'm willing to spend recklessly, because we'll be making all that money in Silk Road trades. Silk trades. Whatever. Brother-in-law. And please remember, almost all the vassals cannot form any factions, so even while I'm away for long, the island will remain at peace. Now we're entering through the Strait of Hormuz, which of course piracy tends to happen. I have just received news that the temple, which I ordered built a while back, has been finally completed. How inspiring it is to see the Buddha statue that adorns the main hall. Many will benefit from this temple, which will serve as a spiritual center for the local monastics and lay. It's simply beautiful. I'm now a major Mahavihara patron, and this increases the prominence for all. Still, the leading phase is accumulation, so we're 3/4 of a way there to the next phase. Now the Persian Gulf. Somebody wonder how long is this travel? 5 years, so it's basically 6 years plus delays. That's what this whole video is going to be about. My attempt to establish a trade out of my domains brought a few merchants to my counties, and a profitable small commercial network has been established. Not bad at all for the next 20 years. I wish it was better, but I'm no genius. But every little bit helps. Because we gotta repay that debt. Because I'm indebted. So we're on land finally. Into the lands of Mesopotamia. Down to Mita. Another son of mine. If I traveled together with Vigo and his merchant caravans, I've come across business opportunities I would not have otherwise. While in North Samara, we were able to secure a favorable trade deal with merchants we met there. I could accept the deal as it is, or risk it and haggle to get even more out of the other merchants, but they might refuse and the deal might fall through. 17? We can only do better than that. I like my chances now. 73% for success. Let's aggregate an even better deal. Yes. I'm imitating somebody else. Be careful, these wetlands are nothing to mess with. It's not the first time I catch my Sinavarad Vikrama fiddling around with flowers been picking along the road. Sometimes I swear even you're on side. Overlooking and Romania holding of age. It's not a secret that my heart is found a new home far from home. Alas, my soul aches of my desire knows no end. Her eyes, her hair, I long for just a salute. I'll die for word, please. I beg of you, let me stay with her. That is a dwarf and a wet nurse. Listen, you are coming home with me. You're my bodyguard. Protect me. For Siddhartha's sake. Ah, Dhanamita, sickly. To the House of Wisdom. Look at the prominence here. As long all of it is above 150, it will not slowly trend towards purification. So I visited the great city of Baghdad and I gained the trait of Traveler, which is +1 diplomacy, thus slowly increasing the chance of success for each of the trade deals that we'll make. So now, passing through the gates of Baghdad it is not hard to reflect on having reached the traditional center of Arabic speaking in Islamic world. As I approach the inner city, the air becomes filled with intellectual literary discourse. This entire street, even if its bridges, is dominated by hundreds of busy bookshops and literary salons. My courtier mutters to me while taking in this scholarly spectacle. I could really spend a lifetime here, my liege. So, he has approved chances of a positive outcome of this option. No need for a book artifact. But I could stay here for 2 weeks. A great opportunity to have some learned conversation. I make a passable impression. After all, I'm a Buddhist man. Hope they're not besieging Baghdad if it's part of an ongoing war zone. Maha's center has shown a curiosity of his ancestors and is growing to be more like the child. House for Jebal. And plus, he's learned the Tamil language through observation. Open-minded is good. Different culture, opinion. If people like you more, perhaps the owners of each of these provinces will make the place less dangerous to travel. That's my presumption anyhow. And that would include different faith of opinion. My hostage is now a woman, looking forward to be sent home, as is the custom. Her brother will certainly be hoping as much. Must stay a little while longer, just a little while longer. On my way now. On our way to Ranbar, we stumbled into a local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture in town climb around exotic food stalls. They are thick with fragrances I had never imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. Pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of Nagamita. Do not waste your powder on this slumber, Lord. Samosas are for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. I can't believe I almost ate this garbage. No need to eat just now. And as we trekked through Anbar, my caravan stopped at a clearing bordered by scrawny plains. I proceeded toward the coast to find Vigo and Magamita having an irate row. You were sent in here to do me in. Do not lie to me, you two-faced agent of subterfuge. Vigo screams in another panic. Calm down, Vigo, it's just me. How do you think such a thing? Magamita replies in an attempt to calm the man. Remember, I'm a man of diplomacy. Come now, surely you two can make amends. Gets a diplomacy lifestyle experience while being a seasoned traveler and an entourage mediator. Ain't nobody gonna fight in my watch. No, sir. 75. There we go. We should keep haggling. This is the #1 reason why I decided to travel far. Give it time for more of the trade deals so we can make a lot more money. Make so much money that we'll use it to support the Sangha and pay off that debt. Thanks to his diligent efforts, my caravan master found a safe shortcut in Rada, which we could use to reduce the time of our journey quite a bit. How fortunate. 7 days progress towards next destination. You don't want to be stuck out in the desert forever. And yeah, we'll be passing by Haran, which has nothing over there. It ain't what it used to be. Old stone slab found? One would think, right? Haggling failed this time. One thing I noticed when we passed through Al Safria is that every other Stami is practically laughing at my latest attempts at logical argument. That's the philosophical culture thing. What can I personally learn? For the rest of this travel, I'll have this +2 learning philosophical musings. And we took a little visit to the Citadel of Aleppo, just to gain some experience. And, by the way, every little bit helps, because I'd like to get that up a bit more. Entered into Roman territory now. It seems our caravan's become a little lost in these foreign lands. Cinnabotto's been trailing us around Crusader for hours, and though he's at least swallowed his pride and asked for directions, he does not appear to be an expert Ilinka speaker. Well, let me try. Diplomacy learning challenge. So, 67% chance that we'll gain progress, 32% chance we'll delay. We got lost here for a week, blast. But while we wait, let's haggle again. We got it. Okay, now we're in the Mediterranean. It's the Gulf of Alexandria. Tambapanni moved from Vane to Vikramabahu, to our capital. Well, as you continue to travel, let it go. Don't pause for anything. That means now we have a large Tamil minority in Vikramabahu. Well, we got 2 varieties of Hindu faiths in our land, but I cannot do any conversion because that leads to purification. Oh, watch out. The islands are in revolt. Today, I woke up with a crushing thought. Despite years of my efforts, my life's achievements still pale to my great father, Vikramabahu, and I've pushed myself, yet unable to escape the long shadow of his fame. Is it a curse that every father brings upon their children? We're all born a futile race against the giants of the past. I have failed you, Vikramabahu, and I failed myself. Well, don't get too stressed about it now because, you know, we're on a very long vacation, a long trip, and we're gonna have so much fun in the Northwestern Balkans. Okay, good. More gold. If I gain so much gold, I'll be sure to donate to the Nalanda University. And spending these. Wants to write about medicine. A wise man. You got it. Yes, more renown. Almost there to the next dynasty legacy for the maritime trade. Good job, decreased his intrigue. 8. As we sail towards Split, the fresh sea air is doing wonders for at least my breath and well-being. However, we're not all so lucky. I've noticed how Vikrama has been deteriorating over the past few days. Now, there is no doubt he has contracted an illness of some kind. Need you, man. Nagamita, can you treat him? I don't want to, you know, mess up with this treatment and potentially get pneumonia. Otherwise, that's going to be on me. Also, I want to warn you viewers, as I record this video, there might be a sound of thunder or two that may occur nearby in the town that I live in, because I'm recording it during a bit of rainy weather here. While meanwhile, Vikramabahu does not clearly favor our voyage, as the waves the size of castles comes crushing down our humble vessel. The ship is rocked back and forth. Men and women alike cling to whatever they can to keep from turning overboard as the ship grows closer and closer to capsizing. I have of course stashed away with the other nobles in the safest part of the ship, but as the sky burns with thunder and the sea crashes down on us of all its strength, I fear all shall not live to see another day if I just try to survive on faith alone. Oh dear. Oh dear. I trust our captain. This is a marsh town. 45% chance that we'll successfully navigate the storm. 41% chance that he gets wounded and someone drowns. 12% chance that he gets wounded and many entourage members drown. Me included, one would think. There's only 4 of us here. We didn't bring anyone else with us. It's just me, the bodyguard, Silk Road merchant, and you. Yes. Trust your captain. Someone drowned. Oh my goodness. Died. But it's not him. Who do we lose? The Silk Road merchant. We lost Vigo. We lost Vigo. Our Silk Road merchant. Then how are we supposed to make more money now? I mean, what you did was a good earning, but at the Adriatic, and we're almost going to be arriving at the lands. Duke. Hearing several thuds and angry screams coming from outside. I hasten out from below deck only to find Vikrama and Nagamita in tense argument again. I'll have no more to your idiots, say you abhor and coxcomb. Vikrama stamps his foot in the dirt, or in this case the deck. You're the one who whined on this entire journey. Screaming, are we there yet? At every crossroads, Nagamita retorts. Hey, you two get together. There's no time for your nonsense. Now we arrived in the land of Dukla. Hybrid cultures form between Marathi and Kannadiga. I rarely see my courtier Margarita this excited before. His eyes seem to be devouring a richly ordained book. Sometimes I manage to take a peek at the maps on its interior. One morning he finally approaches me about his findings. My liege, there are rumors that the land of Zeta is home to extraordinary people. It is said that cynocephaly dog-headed people wander these cities. Are you sure? Where did you hear about that? I'll just say, please, Magamita, tell me more about them. The Ballads of Duka. This is one of the many regional events that you will see, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we came here for, after 30 minutes of this video. As I traverse the hilly landscapes of Dukla, a traveling bard by the name of Rada crosses your path with a lute in hand and a song in his heart. He offers to regale you and your party with epic tales of Duklan heroes and villains. His stories, filled with valorous knights, cunning princesses, and treacherous usurpers, provide a fascinating insight into the local culture and history. Listening to his tales could be both a delightful diversion and a valuable lesson. But keep in mind, when you do this every time, you will gain active traveler, which means was recently involved in a regional travel event for 15 days. This is to prevent spamming of the said regional travel events like these. That's the idea from the mod creator. So, as a man of diplomacy and Buddhist, tell us about the cunning princess. I'm intrigued. 100% chance that his tale of a cunning princess fascinates me and gain some valuable lessons from it, as my journey of split will be delayed by 2 days. And that's also the reason why the travel is crisscrossed like that, giving me more time to experience any of those potential regional events. The region we're traveling through, Zeta, suffered an unusual amount of rain recently. Though it has cleared, it has made the roads muddy. Most of it has been manageable, until today, when some of our luggage trains got stuck in the mud. We had to spend considerable effort and time getting the animals' supplies unstuck and carrying them to drier ground. Oh, I hate traveling. So now we're stuck up here in the hills near Ribnica, and we go to Cetinje. Every time we get to a new settlement, I take a moment to look around, trying to find the grotesque creatures I've seen in Magamita's map. The chaos is simply too big. When we arrive in Cetinje, he comes to me, grasping his book tightly. My liege, we follow all the indications, but these creatures are nowhere to be found. It has occurred to me that they may be, perhaps, no more than an adventure. Oh, okay. As we were walking among the hills late in the day, the darkness comes suddenly, brought by dark clouds above us. Then there's a distant loud rumble of thunder. Soon there's another, combined with a dazzling flash of lightning. And another strike, brightly illuminating the area. But the after image burns into my eyes. I blink and see where the lightning struck. Now there's a quickly expanding brush fire, and it's spreading toward us. Oh dear. 40% chance that we run away from the fire, and this is going to cause a delay of 2 days. 60% chance that the fire catches us running away, thus wounding my caravan master. And our journey to Split is in 7 days. Or put out the fire. 26% chance of success. 45% chance that it stopped, though get hurt. 27% chance that engulfs the whole entourage. I get wounded, and so does he. Run! Fire catches us running away, and my caravan master got burnt. Serbsky women. I have seen in the world and beheld so many wonders and travels, but I never beheld such beauties as the one I've seen in Rasinje. Truly, Serbsky or Serbian women are cut above all the rest. One ticket of fascinating express is taking my eye as of late. A peasant woman by the name of Zdenka. Zdenka. A pretty little pet. She's far too pleased with mine to spend her days slaving away in this. How old are you? 30? Reasonable age. Lustful, huh? A little bit shy. And, you know, I lost my wife due to I'm marrying a peasant woman of no political significance. I'd like you to marry me and join my court, but do we really need somebody with those kind of skills? But she is quite attracted to me. Not to mention, has a positive view towards me because of my tolerance towards heathens and a couple of things like that. I'm sure hopefully there's someone better, someone more beautiful, and potentially someone more smart. Also, another warning for the, oh, hang on. Truly a stroll through, Cornaville, is a gift from, Taberna. The tranquility of this place is suddenly and abruptly broken by the furious grunts and clattering of armor. Hark! Get me out of this middle prison! My squire took offense at my manner, even going as far as to call me heartless and has abandoned me. Whatever this strange man did, it could not have been enough to justify being stuck forever in his armor. I could, of course, have someone help him, but is it truly worth it? No. Well, consider the armor gone for a price. I'll get a hook on him. Just a little bit of money. That. Bank! I hear a shout and panic. Soon thereafter, I hear a loud cracking sound, like that of wood breaking, or of my patience finally snapping. I step out of the dirt and see the splinter remains of the wagon wheel. My wagon wheel. I'm sorry, my liege. Well, it's my turn to look on. I fell asleep with the reins. Oh, we're gonna be late. Soon, we bypassed Ragusa. Traversed the plains of the outskirts of Ston. We were suddenly attacked by a swarm of bandit riders. Out for blood. Another set of riders approached from nearby holding, led by Cafilia Illyria. I'm very pleasantly surprised by the altruistic manner of the local Cafilia. And I praise said Darth that he arrived just time. Larion circles back a victorious grin on his face. You should join us for some Sipsky hospitality at Stone. So, he is Praetor Ninoslav's Voivoda. Voivoda as in Marshal. Well, thank you very much then. We're just traveling around the islands as well. Sometimes we go by sea, sometimes we go back by land in order to get to, you know, the island towards another. Gonna happen a lot. The whole back at sea then back on land in order to get to an island. Circled around the island and then back at sea. See that? Vaishnavite peasants moved in from Pajavarajapur to Nagadipa. Hang on. You got it. Forging a crown. I didn't see what you were forging. I was willing to spend anyway. And also I'm a little distracted because I'm looking at the radar on my other computer just to watch the rainstorm that's near the town I live in as I record in case we might pick up thunder during this recording. After the power does go out, this will not end the recording because I'm recording it on the laptop. It can run without a cord. So, just a little thing for you. So, you don't want it to making a crown for me, right? Yes. I'll find other ways to impress whomever I want. Don't want to make him as my friend. I'd rather make other friends from other places. on to another island. There's that rumble of thunder. I don't know if you can hear that picked up on the headset of the mic, but okay, should pick up now. But in case if it didn't, then that's fine. Because there was that one time when I was recording an episode of EU4, and right before I finished the recording, we had a loud boom of thunder that was close to my house, and the way it picked up on the mic, it sounded like a cannon going off. Hope we don't get that here. Now, anyways, we heard that Zajabiye is a land lousy with holy men, traveling in impoverished conditions, living often on faith alone. One such mendicant approached a caravan, preaching his old mystical, esoteric philosophy of anyone who would listen. The impoverished creature seems the low part of our party. Perhaps I could get rid of him. He's a Bosnian Orthodox, but the event popped up because he's got mendicant mystics. I believe that's one of the reasons why that popped up. But I'll say I'm a master debater, and I won the debate. Okay, we're gonna go to another island. My metalsmith sits glaring over and past at, oh gosh, this man's name. Karaka Yamari Yelainian. Any of you Tamil viewers, if you can tell me how to pronounce that man's name, please help me. So anyways, the co-contender for my pictures. Do usually safely scroll away, pondering over bills. I quickly suppose to move when it comes to dine. When it comes time to dine. It's nice to find times. Why does he receive more funds than me? And he is writing about medicine. So what? You know, crown's more important than book. So I will match your funding. Happy? How did they get messages so far from me? Another son. Rohaka. There's a name. Okay, we did a little visit on the island, now back at sea. And then we'll land here in Omish. And then we'll finally arrive at Split. And then we'll continue our tour to the lands of Valeria. Which I'm not sure if it's known to the people of Sri Lanka. Obviously they don't know anything beyond Europe. But meanwhile, while traversing the hilly terrain of Zaglumia, my party discovers a vibrant kula, a defensive tower unique to this region. The locals, proud of their ingenious defensive strategies, invites me to explore the kula. The structure's vibrant exterior, adorned with various shades of ochre and blue, hides a complex interior filled with secret passages and traps. Ratomir, a resident of the area, offers to guide you through the tower, explaining the intricate defensive mechanisms and the history of the kula. Havatsky Christiani. Let's have a competition. Who can find the most secret passages? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that would do that intrigue. But a 100% chance guaranteed due to my high learning as of late that will successfully navigate the kula, gaining a deep understanding of its defensive mechanisms. Gain 50 learning, lifestyle experience, and I will become the owner of the kula blueprint, which I'll look at that in a moment. The high altitude and brisk air of Omish has a very fresh quality to traverse the local hill fort. Yes, the one we just had. The soldiers in the valley below appear to be practicing some rare type of training technique I've not seen before. I move in closer, failing to restrain my curiosity. While I'm doing so, I'm approached by the local captain, Georgi. Would you like to join in, my lord? Well, I'm not much of a, man who commands armies. So I believe my Seneverat would surely benefit from this training regime. So 20% chance it becomes reckless and delays. 80% chance to become an expert in rough terrain. There is some rough terrain in Tambapanni. Rough terrain expert. Some investment to be made. Also, by the way, Kula blueprint here. Detailed blueprint of Kula Tower. Showcase complex defensive mechanisms. Not for use. But delays here. Visit the Palatum of Diocletian. And here we are. We have arrived at Split. My host, Kraj Hovoje of Croatia, is surprised how far I've traveled. He's wondering what I plan to do here. I like to learn about your culture. Brought a 69% chance that I brought in my mind, or 30% chance that I embarrassed myself. Like to learn it. And I embarrass myself. And by the way, while you are here, you cannot return home automatically. You would have to hit go home. And thus, you'll continue to travel. So we just stay here for a few days. And then we'll get time moving on. As I traverse the hilly landscape of Dalmatia, I've come across a group of local fisherfolk training cormorants by the shore. This unusual method of fishing, where birds are trained to dive and catch fish, is a sight to behold. Irenaeus, the leader of the fisherfolk, notices my interest and invites me and my party to watch the training session. He assures me that if the training goes well, it can be rewarded with fresh fish. However, the activity could attract unwanted attention due to its unique nature. Let's watch the training. Fresh fish sounds delightful. 75% chance that it goes well and rewarded with a feast of fresh fish. Delayed for a day. 25% chance of unwanted attention where, caused a ruckus and the train's disrupted and he is not pleased. He is diverged from 1070. So Greeks were still living in Croatia at that time. Brought some unwanted attention. As I traveled through the hills of Sminje, I come across a group of hunters. They allow me to follow along the hunt for a little while, point out some specifics in their technique and some tracker clues unique to this area. Perhaps they could train me. I'll be a hunter, just to increase my prowess a bit, because I am getting a little old, and a little bit of prowess can help me protect myself, just to save my own skin. As we trek through here, not again. Keep going. Just we're about to break camp in the morning. I'll find him in Vikramabahu in his lodgings, breathing heavily and pale as a sheet. He winces under my scrutiny, lets out a bellowing cough. Did he contract something? Is this an epidemic? Margarita, treat him. Visited the Church of St. Donatus. Just going round, round, round. Cinnabar was in charge of food supplies. It sheepishly revealed that our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. Patches of mold cover the bread and fresh produce, and quickly used up our remaining dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. Locals around here must have something, because I don't want to get sick, but You know, those people have been hospitable to us, so maybe they're gonna have something. Otherwise, we're gonna be breaking doors down to find it. Karamas got wounded, but he's all better now. Reach that little island there, and then back into land. And soon we're going to be going up the mountains. Up to Kanin. Walnut Tossing Festival. As I navigate the rugged terrain of the Dalmatian mountains, I've come across a lively scene. The locals... Oh, by the way, that Dalmatian... I was incorrect. The Roman province of the area that I referred to, I don't know if it was really called that, but I believe the Romans called most of that Dalmatia, which is how I get its name. I've come across a lively scene. The locals of a small village are celebrating a feast of St. Michael in a unique way. They are tossing walnuts down the mountainside, a tradition they believe brings good luck and bountiful harvests. The air is filled with laughter and the cracking sound of walnuts bouncing off rocks. Vukan, a villager, spots me, and my party invites me to join the festivities. He explains that participating in the walnut tossing could earn you goodwill of the villagers. However, the mountainside is steep and the walnuts are slick. One wrong step could lead a walnut-related mishap. I'll watch from a safe distance. Those walnuts look treacherous, so I'll enjoy the spectacle from a safe distance, appreciating the villagers' joy and camaraderie. The time's going to be split and head home. Okay, so you do stay for a while, and it does go out automatically, like it was supposed to. Oh, how dare you! Team of all manner wildlife. Vikrama and I agree that Lika would be a splendid place to go out and hunt. While we don't have time to stay for a proper outing, we traverse the area, spot a pristine wild rabbit at the edge of the forest. There's particular markings on its fur, and I motion Vikram to survey the animal. As he spots the rabbit, he grins. What would you say to the friendly wager leech? Whoever strikes the pristine fellow with an arrow wins. Sounds like a deal. Rabbit in sight, we both slowly and purposefully move closer to the rabbit, taking aim for its tiny body as it gnashes away at a piece of straw. I pull the string and release as the arrow goes straight in the animal's body. The sudden impact launches a few paces, then the tiny body stumps on the ground. Motionless, I roar in triumph. Vikram joins me in my turn. Nice shot, he cries, as I dart forward to pick up the trophy. This was fun. Lucky rabbit's paw. Increased prowess. And muddy roads again in Kosinia. Last. Well, I don't have time for romance, but put this on. Lucky rabbit's paw. Of where it got me. Metalsmith. Updates in progress. Join about the limits of hammer and blows as my mind reels with bold ideas for my crown. By the way, it's pouring rain outside on my end. Megan may not be my press forte, but that doesn't mean I can have a say on how my money is spent. My background gives me unique insights. 0% chance that the ideas work, but 88% chance that the ideas work well. 11, nothing. They work well. It's a lovely cut you got here. As I travel through the rugged mountains of Croatia, my party hears eerie sounds echoing from a nearby cave. The chilling moans and whispers send shivers down my spine. Vikramabahu, my caravan master, informs me about the local legends that speak of the vampires who terrorize their villages after dark. The villagers believe that these are the spirits of the wicked who have not found peace in death. Oh dear. They have said to lurk in caves during the day and feed on the living after sunset. Yikes. Nagamita, try to decipher if there's any truth to these legends. 100% chance it's debunked, that he convinces the party that the sounds are just natural echoes, calming everyone's nerves and allowing everyone to continue on their journey. Now visiting these other islands. It's time for a break on Gajabahu's routine lessons plan. Might be a good time to pass along some values of House Vijayabahu to him. Hone his skills by traditions. Lesson on Nana. What the duck? The day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We're out here somewhere in Lubinice. As I close my eyes and as my mouth brings me forward, one solid step at a time. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carried by the breeze, but not from our entourage. Is that quacking? I isolate the sound coming from the shrubbery on my right-hand side. That's a good omen. See it as a good omen. Like the wise men once said. Before we left the island. The island of Tambapanni, that is. Rabferia. Rabferia celebration. As me and my companions traversed the rugged mountains of medieval Croatia, I stumbled upon a vibrant celebration, the Vrabfe, originating from the island of Rab, which we also visited there recently. Somewhere. I know I visited there just recently. Or is it further down? Somewhere. Anyways, this summer's fair is a time-honored tradition, celebrating the island's patron saints with feasting, games, and a grand procession. The air is filled with laughter, music, and enticing aroma of roasted lamb. The locals, decked in colorful traditional attire, invite me to my festivities. Participating in a merriment could surely lift the spirits of my party. However, the large gathering might also present unforeseen dangers. Let's join the festivities. 100% chance of a grand celebration. Me and my companions thoroughly enjoy the feast, lifting everyone's spirits. I'm an eager reveler? No. But I gained a trait percentage despite not having a trait. While traveling on the road of Gachka, we discovered to our horror that a number of food supplies had gone bad. It appears that on our trip, the food got mixed with a lot of water by accident. It's now rather moldy. There aren't any settlements nearby, so we need to forage and hunt for some food to hold us over. Though this will waste time. On the other hand, perhaps we could tough it out. Ration out what food we still have and hurry to the nearest settlements. Take our time to forage and hunt. It's kind of too bad we don't have our Silk Road merchant with us, because we could be making so much fortune, but we just got bad luck, that's all. Now let's continue. The taste of Zinvandel. As I traverse the rolling hills of medieval Croatia, my party stumbles upon a vineyard basking in the warm afternoon sun. The vineyard is known for its Zinvandel grapes, a variety that thrives in the local climate. The vineyard owner, Dragomir, welcomes me with open arms, eager to share the fruits of his labor. He offers me a tasting of the local wine, a robust red with a hint of blackberry and spice. However, Cenobahu warns you to be mindful about the consumption. Overindulgence could lead to unexpected consequences. I'd like to learn more about the viticulture. 100% chance of a new understanding. Spend the afternoon about the viticulture from Dragomir. And my newfound knowledge impresses him and leaves me with a deeper appreciation in the art of winemaking. It's no secret that my half-sister Samadit is carrying a child conceived through a sinful union. She's not a married woman after all. Our father child's a mystery until now. This man is the one responsible. There's no such thing as bastards, but adultery is bad. fornicating, I should say. As we trek through Toropoye, our caravan has stopped at the clearing bordered by leafy bushes. Proceed. How dare you knock me from my horse and about you foul fop doodle? No fighting. What did I tell you about that? So the lands of Slavonia. The Slavonian Zadruga. As me and my party traversed through the dense forests of Slavonia, I stumbled upon a large family community known as the Zadruga. The Zadruga is a unique Slavonian way of life. It's a type of rural community where extended families live and work together under one roof, sharing the fruits of their labor. The head of the Zadruga, Kastamir, warmly invites me to share a meal with him and learn more about their communal way of life. As I approach, the enticing aroma of roasting game and freshly baked bread wafts towards me. Again, I'm one for learning. I would not intrude, but I'm curious about your way of life. Gain a deep understanding of their way of life and customs. Here we are. The monumental herbarium, with detailed drawings of each plant and descriptions of its medical properties. The cover is wood that's been painted to display a repeating image of interlaced knot patterns. Goodness to the sword is written in a highly decorative style on the first page. I'm impressed. Excellent. You plundered the wealth? What the heck? Now purification is elite again because of your actions. What is the matter with you? I don't know if personality has anything to do with it, but it's something that should be concerned. A silent wedding. As you traverse the hilly landscape of Slavonia, you and your party stumble upon a small village where preparations for a wedding are in full swing. The village elder Mihailo, invites me to join the festivities. There is one particular custom you are told about. No words are spoken during the ceremony. Instead, emotions and thoughts are conveyed through music and singing. You realize this will be a unique challenge, as I must navigate the event without uttering a word. Well, I will participate, try to communicate through song. 100% chance that the song is well received and praised from my understanding of their customs. Sponsored, ordained ceremonies. Okay, a little bit towards me. It's been snowing for days now. The road ahead appears to be completely impassable. As I look ahead, I see a small group of people approaching us fast across the snowdrifts. Soon a man stands before me and speaks with a wide grin. You seem to be in quite a predicament, but fear not. The price will help you return in your travels. Hang on. Karlo Draskovic, a Croatian man who is strong, and he knows the winter, aggressive attacker, and he's a strategist. You know what? Helping others is his own reward. 100% chance that, 99% chance that he'll join us. That would be great. Well, let's start swift moving again. Finally, we are not alone. Okay, we'll visit the Vukovar, then we'll head into the lands of modern-day Bosnia and Herzegovina. Insists that the funds supply are not enough to create an artifact worthy of stature. Yeah, sure, whatever you need. Can't be spending too much. Wish the Silk merchant was still here, but he drowned on the way. So here we are, in the lands of Bosnia. Bosnia-Herzegovina. As my party travels through the hilly terrain of Lower Bosnia, I come across a small village nestled between two peaks. The rhythmic sound of the blacksmith's hammer resonates through the valley. Curious, I decided to investigate. The blacksmith, Peta, is a burly man with a friendly demeanor. He is currently working on a piece of high-quality iron, skillfully shaping it to a beautiful sword. He notices my interest and offers to teach in the party the process of making such a weapon. Could be useful, the skill to acquire, but will certainly take some time. An obese blacksmith? But who am I to question him? A Bosnian iron sword, no prowess. Oddly enough, would be a nice piece of decoration. But I'll just say this. I'll watch, but I'm not getting my hands dirty. Plus, he can't understand Sinhala. But at least we do have a Croatian, which one would think he'll be our interpreter. Because everybody speaks the same language down there. That province is way lower than it was before. For the Abelgear anyway, so somebody's been doing some things. And including that purification, ransacking that monastery. Sorry, no court events, can't be here. Can't be there. Tisoraka. Pastor Bihach, and as I traverse the inundating hills of Lower Bosnia, my party stumbles upon the remnants of an old watermill. Its once sturdy structure now lays in ruins, the water wheel motionless. The local peasant, Carlo, approaches and explains that these watermills were once the backbone of the Bosnian economy, grinding grain into flour for the region's famous bread. Seeing the mill in such a state saddens Carlo. It teaches me that the mill was destroyed in a recent storm, and that the village lacks the resources to repair it. Humbly asks for your help in restoring the mill. A task that would be undoubtedly earn you the goodwill of the locals, but I'll still aim my journey. Are there any watermills in Sana? Does anybody in Bosnia-Herzegovina know that there's a watermill in Sana? Because I know I have a couple of viewers that are from Bosnia because of my Bosnian series I did. Let's help them. We can spare the time. 90% chance of a restoration success. That with my help, it shall be restored to its former glory. The villagers will be grateful and my reputation grows. Success. As we trek through Sanica. Oh, not again. Stop fighting, you two. What did I tell you? I hate traveling here. Snow melting, one would think. The stone carvers of Babovac, even though we're in Gribit. As my party traversed the hilly terrain of Lower Bosnia, I come across the bustling town of Babovac, known for its skilled stone carvers. Babovac's artisans are renowned across the region. Mihailo, different Mihailo. The master stone carver notices my party and approaches with a warm smile. He offers to teach you the craft of stone carving, explaining that it's a valuable skill that can prove useful. However, he warns that mastering requires time, patience, and a steady hand. He considers offered, knowing that such an opportunity does not come often, but also aware of the time it would take for my travel. I wish I had a higher stewardship skill, although I may soon, but I'd rather watch the process than participate. Watch and learn. Christiane Havatsky. Another one sponsored or dance ceremonies. Every little bit helps. Today, my son Gajabahu was taught a lesson in vassal management by Morgan. It's a complicated course, necessary, but is perhaps beyond his grasp. Everyone makes mistakes, he exclaimed. When I rule, I will forgive and let live, so that my realm may prosper. Forgiving is good, but I wish it was a virtue. Disloyal, huh? I'll say, be patient. Let things play out. Then make your judgment. And you know what? I'm going to influence that personality. I'll give you calm. So that way, you can be a true Buddhist. You'll have the traits of a monk, one would think. Let's hope for it. I approach my son, Gajabahu, with a question. What is power? Having Rada Buddha and nobles at your command, I lost my fair abode today. Nobody seems to care. Power begins with power over oneself, I explained. By looking to others, by becoming upset and lashing out, you're shoving away feelings of helplessness and foolishness. Instead, breathe deep and find clear judgment. After a moment's pause, he sighs and says, I will try. That's my boy. He has to become calm. 2 virtues. Oh, hell. That's my physician. I think I know a cure, I hope. Oh, his condition worsened. He's got pneumonia. Oh, it's going to register in a moment. Also, I got my crown. A beautiful crown of excellent craftsmanship. The crown is forged from gold and ordained with intricate filigree that frames a large emerald centerpiece. Lowered men-at-arms maintenance is always good. This is lovely. His health is poor. We need him. Without our physician, well, we're screwed out here. Meal with Vlachis. While taking a rest in Upper Bosnia, here in Zenica, my party stumbles upon a group of Vlachis, semi-nomadic shepherds, who are settling down for a meal. They invite me to join them. I'm intrigued by their unique culture and language. The smell of roasting lamb fills the air, and the Vlachis, dressed in their distinctive sheepskin cloaks, are jovial and welcoming. However, their customs are quite different from what they're used to. You need to navigate these cultural differences carefully. I'd love to learn more about your culture. May I join you? I mentioned navigate the cultural differences and have a pleasant meal with the Vlachis. And during my travels, I came to a rather friendly village in Zenica. The locals were respectful and kindly gave us supplies. A few members of my travel caravan were suspicious, but nothing unusual happened. For 1 year, we will be traveling a little bit faster and things will be a little bit safer, especially in the Bosnian Highlands. And mystics are everywhere in Zenica. They go around preaching and sharing their knowledge. One day I get into a rather in-depth discussion about the meaning of life, and one of them while waiting for a boulder to be removed from the path. What wisdom can you share with me? Zaklumian resting place. While traversing in the rugged mountains of Zaklumia, here in Glamotz, me and my party stumbled upon a curious sight. A stone sarcophagus, half buried in the earth, ordained with intricate carvings of local flora and fauna. The sight is unusual. The sarcophagus is far from any known settlement. My companion, Magamita, recognizes it as a Zaklumian burial site. He explains that the Zaklumians believed in returning to nature after death. Hence the depictions of local wildlife on their tombs suggested you could learn more about the burial rituals if you were to examine the sarcophagus more closely. However, disturbing a burial site might be seen as disrespectful, even sacrilegious. Yeah, to them. This land here, this Vatski. I'm always a rather inquisitive one, so let's examine it. Knowledge is worth the risk. Carefully examine it, gaining valuable insights on Zaklumian burial rituals. we're going to be entering a little bit of the Roman territory, and then we'll be back in the Croatian lands of Bosnia. Ruya cultist ritual. As I traverse the rugged landscape of Zagumia, my party stumbles upon a secluded spring. A group of Ruya cultists, local pagans are known for their belief in water spirits, are in the midst of a sacred ritual. Suddenly, Magamita clumsily trips over the stone, disturbing the ritual and causing an uproar among the cultists. They claim that the party has angered the water spirits and they demand it please them, and the cultists to avoid their wrath. Oh dear. I don't know, the pagans are still there. He's gone through worse, alright? We can't afford him to get hurt. But let's try to reason with him. 100% chance that we'll manage to reason with the cults who allowed the party to leave peacefully. It's all a misunderstanding, alright? We're gonna get going. No fighting, please. That was between a giant and a Croat. I'm not an orgy guy. While traveling through the rugged peaks of Upper Bosnia, my party stops for a meal. Vikrama, eager to prove his skills, volunteers to forage for food. Shortly after, a terrified scream echoes through the mountains. Rushing to the source, I find Vikram frozen in fear. A large brown bear looming over him. A bear bigger than Vikram? It seems he's accidentally disturbed the bear's rest while gathering berries. Now it's up to me to defuse the situation without causing harm to the party or the bear. Apparently this giant bear of Bosnia. I could say, no, Vikram, show your strength and scare the bear off. You're the giant here, and you're not going to let some giant bear scare the out of you. Bear is scared off. He roars loudly, causing the bear to retreat into the wilderness. The party is safe. By the way, it occurred in Overhaul. Alright. Soon we're going to be crossing the Drina, and we'll be entering into the lands of Serbia. As I traverse the rolling hills of Machava, my attention is drawn to a group of women sitting in the shade of a large beech tree. They are practicing an ancient craft of Zimanje embroidery, a traditional form of needlework unique to this region. The intricate patterns, woven on blue thread on the white cloth, represent a variety of natural and geometric motifs and are said to bring protection prosperity. Biljana, the eldest among them, notices my interest and invites me to join them. She offers to teach you the basic stitches and patterns of Zimanje embroidery, assuring me that it's a skill worth learning. I could even create a small piece of my own under her guidance. I don't want to have too many cluttered artifacts here. I appreciate the offer, but I'd rather just watch. And, of course, the Croatian man will just translate that to her since they speak the same language. Just a peaceful afternoon. Just watching the women at work. With their hands practiced at ease. Peaceful moment, a welcome respite from my journey. As we continue along. Now keep in mind, the land is in revolt, so be aware. You're in somebody's war zone. Wherever it is. Brooke! Shuffle the spies around. I'll ride rough for now. Pass through Belgrade. Odice Belgrade. With the hostage, the Herods of Tagador, I now find myself carrying for oh, no soon departed take us from them. Well, it's been great knowing you. Oh god, not again. Run! fire catches him and it burnt our caravan master, who is... Oh, he's not going to be around for long. His wound's been aggravated. He's not going to be with us for any longer. Might lose my caravan master. As I traversed the rugged terrain of the Machava Mountains, the scent of freshly baked bread wafts through the air. Following the enticing aroma, I stumbled upon a small, smoke-filled forge tucked away in a mountain crevice. Urosh, a burly man with arms like tree trunks, introduces himself as the Iron Baker. He explains that he bakes his bread in a forge, giving it a unique smoky flavor. You obviously a warm loaf, its crust as dark as iron, the taste is unlike any bread I've ever had. Urosh then proposes to teach junior companions the art of iron baking. It could be a fun and rewarding experience. It could also mean spending extra time in this remote location. As much as I'd like to learn, but they say baking is good for the soul. Let's do this. Master the art of iron baking, producing delicious smoky oaf. Yes, sir. Master Baker. And look what I got. Woohoo, small health boost. A unique smoky flavored bread from the Iron Baker of Machava. A little health boost to help you out whenever you're feeling down. Vikram, did you manage to get through the dangerous path of Pozega? We decided to rest for the night. As I walk around the encampment, suddenly a strange feeling that someone missing bothers me. I ask around and everyone agree on one thing. They don't remember seeing Vikram at all day. He was keeping the rear guard as he entered a war-torn province. I suppose it wasn't the best idea knowing his bravado. It's probably gunning for the front lines, unless he's lost somewhere in the mountains. Let's mount a search party for him. Vikram is nowhere to be found. No, not Vikram. He's at the court in Uzitsa, and there's no way we can get him back. Not my friend. Now I feel vulnerable. He survived a giant bear, and now he's no longer with us. I mean, not dead, but we're still in touch, so now it's just my caravan master, who is wounded and infirm, Magamita, who is infirm, but he survived pneumonia, and Karl Draskovic, who might as well be my new bodyguard. I'll appoint him as my new bodyguard then. You got it. Since he's present. Before we get time moving on, come on. Wait a minute. I just remembered something. Here, you can have the court tutor. My child. My son and heir. Can't I send you to university? Hang on. 1 second. Send me to university. Yes. We'll get better education than usual. We're doing this for my son, who's going to get a stewardship education, which is very good. I'm willing to spend my whole money on this. Carlo, you're average in your presence. Help me out here. Here it is. The spice must flow. Stewardship per level of fame goes up. The domain taxes also goes up. And decision can reinforce relations can be taken more than once a lifetime. You know, we already have the tradition. Can build an Indian Ocean pirate den if none exists yet in my territory through special decision. Collaborate with Indian Ocean pirates. And increase chances of getting a Silk Road merchant trait when using the Silk Road merchant travel option, which we do not have one right now because it died. So there was increased chances of getting a deal event, now increased chances of getting the trait. Just going around. The dance of the Sokolats tribe. As I traverse the rugged terrain of Machava, a distant sound of music and laughter draws my attention. Upon investigating, I come across a lively scene. Members of the Sokolats tribe, dressed in a vibrant traditional clothing, while performing the Kolo dance around a roaring bonfire. The runic stomping of their feet, combined with the melodic tunes played on goza, it creates a trancing spectacle. Ivan, a member of their tribe, notices my party and invites me to join him. The Kolo is a complex dance. One misstep could lead to embarrassment or even injury. Alternatively, it could enjoy watching the performance from a safe distance and join the spectacle without the risk. Magamita, could you explain more about this dance and its cultural significance since you've been here long enough, about as long as I have? Because it seems you know the land better than I these days. Civil war is over. We have a new ruler of Chola. An alliance? No thank you. I have more pressing matters. As I travel through Ujitse, I take a beautiful view from the mountainside. When I steal my eyes away to focus back on the stony path ahead, I realize I've been surrounded by a group of ruffians. A tall man, presumably there, steps out of cover. Passing through these mountains costs you. Don't care who you are. Anyone passing through my mountains pays. Okay. 71% chance he'll beat him. He's on Entourage. I still have the good skills. I'll not give it so easily. To battle. Beat him and made some money. Made some, took some. Brooke. Shit, gonna be late. The White Angel of Rashka. Set yours to the rugged terrains of Rashka. That's the region we're entering now. My travel leader notices a faint path leading to a secluded cave. Intrigued, I decide to investigate. Inside the cave, I'm greeted by the sight of a grand fresco of the White Angel, an iconic figure in Orthodox Christianity. The fresco is beautifully preserved, its colors vibrant despite the years. It is a serene, contemplative scene, an angel's hand raised in a blessing, the other holding a scroll. The artistry is breathtaking, and the religious significance palpable. May and my companions take a moment to marvel at this sight and contemplate its meaning. I wonder what the scroll in the angel's hand symbolizes. 90% chance that I realize the scroll represents the Word of God, the common symbol in Orthodox iconography. The imposing man stands on the road before us. I am Saladin of Polymia. I've wrestled dozens of men in combat and honestly all those fights at all. So here I am, in this road looking for someone better than me. Someone I can learn from. If you can best me in combat, I'll become a valuable and loyal servant. And so on this day, I demand to meet one of you in a fair fight. You live around here? Well, he's an eccentric, so that's kind of done. Carl will show you how it's done. Slightly better percent chance of beating him than I do. Salaha then wins the fight. He's all better. Dragoslav is lost in deep thought when the entourage enters the quarries of Chanice. He is leaned over a large, roughly cut wooden table, absorbed in drawing something on the scroll. I lean close over his shoulder, drawing his attention. My lord, I did not notice you there. Sincere apologies. I inquire what he's up to. He replies, "Oh, I'm drawing up my thoughts on construction and the building of foundations. I'm quite the architect, you see." Smiles shyly. Be my architect? No. The architect, you say? I'll take one of the drawings. This might come useful to us. Just we're about to break camp in the morning. A fine colonel's lodgings, so... Not gonna mean I can trade him. We need to keep us healthy. As I traversed through the rugged terrain of the Rashka Mountains, I stumbled upon an isolated hut nestled among the vineyards. Living there is a friendly hermit, Georgia, who greets me with open arms. A former vintner, he prides himself on his collection of fine wines and fruit brandies, all produced from local vineyards. He offers me a taste, claiming that his spirits are the finest in all of Rashka. He begins to share the stories of ancient winemaking traditions of the region. These tales as rich as complex as the flavors of the beverages he offers. That would be nice to have, but, well, actually, our income is good enough where we can get out of debt in no time. 100% chance that I will make that fine purchase. Manage to negotiate a fair price and add the fine spirits to my collection. I'd like to purchase a few bottles from my cellar. We'll be out of debt in a month. Don't you worry. It's only a few days. Oh, it's winter already in the middle of October in the mountains. So, you seem to be quite a predicament. Fear not, for a fair price I will help you return your travels. Momchiro Muzaka, a drunkard, wounded soldier, holy warrior. Distek Lastwagen. Sounds like a real rowdy Serb. Helping his own reward. So, you could join us because there's not a lot of us together. Polomia is home to a famous way shrine happening to be passed by today. Local styles is uncommon for travelers to spend even a few days praying there. For it is said that doing will ensure a safe patch for one's journey. I'm unsure how helpful praying as I would be, but I should at least pay my respects to Siddhartha while I'm here. Well, I'm a pious man, so spent several days in prayer. The Koleda celebrations. As my party makes way through the snowy hills of Rashka, I'm visited by a group of locals celebrating the Winter Solstice Festival, Koleda. Well, it's middle of November, but still. They are dressed in traditional garb, their faces painted. They carry a large log which they tend to burn in honor of the dead. The leader of the group, Dushan, explains that they believe that the spirits of the dead return during this time, and the festivities are meant to honor them. He invites me and my party to join in the celebrations. However, you are aware that refusal or improper participation could potentially offend these spirits. Let us join in. It's always good to honor the dead, I guess. Even though our concept, the Buddhist concept, is much different. You two again. Stop that. You've done so much of it, I gained a diplomatic trait for this. Diplomatic trait, diplomatic. Mountains out of molehills. The road's gone incredibly hilly for the past few hours, and everyone's beginning to worry. After a while longer, with no end of the hills in sight, one of my traveling companions Cinnabouts approached me and says, "Lord, our mounts cannot carry on like this much longer. The poor animals need a break, or if it'll collapse, must stop to rest." It would be wise to rest. Here and just in. That was his last words. He died of wounds. Well, Momchilo's poor. Okay, Momchilo, you're the new caravan master. You're the one that's gonna take us to continue on the tour of the lands of Rashka, Duka, Zagumia, Dubrovnik, and then be back home. You're the one that's gonna get us home. Songs of the Vila. As I traverse the hilly landscapes of Rashka, the hauntingly beautiful melodies of the local song reaches my ears. I find a group of villagers, the voices harmonizing the song about the Vila, the mythical creature believed to inhabit the forests and mountains of the region. The Vila, they explain, are beautiful and capricious spirits who often lure men with their enchanting songs and dances. Momchilo seems particularly intrigued by the song and the story behind it. I could join in the singing and dancing, or perhaps I could try to learn more about these fascinating creatures. Their beliefs are amusing. Let's tease them a bit. Just laughter and amusement. I managed to tease the villagers friendly way, causing laughter and amusement. They appreciate my sense of humor. Down to me to survive sickliness. This winter is rough on us. It's been snowing over the past few days and the cold is unbearable. I look around and see my entourage struggling with it as well. So I decide to travel on foot alongside him. After we walk through the snowstorm for another hour, Margarita pulls me aside while shaking and yelps. Please, my liege, I can't feel my finger anymore. He tries to make a fist, but the pain is too strong. His finger is swollen and it's turned all shades of blue and black. Burn my book. Oh dear, oh dear. Father went like this. But I read a tree about a manuscript once. 66% chance that he loses mild frostbite. 33% chance the frostbite treatment fails. And it fails. Oh, he's fine. Don't worry. He's just gonna have that for a long while. While we're stuck here. Purification is far in the lead now. As the procession rolls through the mountains of Trepcha, I spot a peasant walking alongside with no shoes. His feet are bloodied and swollen. Clearly must have been walking for a long time. As I pass him, I look closer at his face. The sad, sad eyes. Grimace of pain. Perhaps I could help somehow. Get him some shoes. We'll go into depth again, but just for a short period of time. Passing through Pristina. Yipe! As I traverse the rough terrain of Rashka's hills, a heated argument between Momchilo and Magamita. The dispute escalates and Momchilo invokes the tradition of Krivna Ovsveta. The what? And he would say, the Krivna Ovsveta, an ancient practice of blood feud. This tradition is deeply rooted in the region's culture, often leads to a cycle of violence and revenge. Now the rest of my party is on edge, fearing that blood will be spilled if the feud is not resolved quickly. Listen, as a Buddhist, I will mediate the dispute. Let's talk this out. We don't do that. So peace will be brokered here. Manage to calm the situation and broker the peace between these two companions. This is something you Serbs need to learn about. You need to learn that you don't settle disputes with violence, but with words. Wise words of wisdom from the Buddha himself. Forgiveness is piety, and forgiveness is truth. Again, I'm paraphrasing. It's not exactly Buddhist. Some of that may be of Hindu origin, one would think. Forgiveness is piety. There you go, I remember. Mahabharat. The inn we stayed in Gluhavica last night was a surprisingly wonderful place. I don't know what the inn or its staff did right, but something about the inn allowed most of us to sleep through the night so peacefully. This morning there were smiles on the faces of many of my entourage prepared to leave. What a wonderful place this was. We're going to be out of the winter soon. The Archon's elections. As I journey through the rugged mountains of Dukla, my party stumbles upon a group of local Archons, noble leaders of the region. They are in the process of electing a new leader amongst themselves. A rare practice of democracy in this feudal age. Miladin, a respected Archon, invites me to observe this unique event. He explains that each Archon casts a stone, white for approval and black for disapproval, into a box. The candidate with most white stones becomes the new leader. I could participate in this event, or just observe and learn. Well, I'll say this instead. This process is intriguing. I would rather discuss it over a meal. I have a pleasant meal with the Archons, discussing politics and local customs. The House of Islam is under grave threat from the onslaught of heathens and infidels of their hearts. In response, the Magnificent Caliph al-Muqtadi has declared that an era of renewed jihad is upon the world. The core reads of Dar al-Islam must be retaken at all costs. The all-righteous must should prepare for the join the ranks of Mujahideen and for the upcoming struggles. Could be the beginning of unprecedented Muslim aggression. The Dodge shall protect us. I assume the Crusaders took Jerusalem, did they? No. Shia took it. A poem. Town Memorial. What man does not hope to rest when tired, no matter his wealth and treasure acquired? Just rare enough for men to admit that they all leave behind is shit. Fuck the poem. Excuse me. I will end this episode as soon as we get back to the Adriatic, because the travel back is going to be just as long. Alright? So it's almost over. As me and my party traverse through the rugged terrain of Zaglumia's mountains, I've come across a large stone circle rumored to be a place of ancient worship. The stones, worn and weathered, stand as silent guardians over the mountain pass. As I approach, a strange celestial event occurs. The sky darkens and a bright comet streaks across the sky, leaving a trail of shimmering stardust in its wake. The sudden darkness and celestial spectacle cause a wave of fear and confusion amongst our party members. Carlo is visibly shaken. Oh, Momchilo, my caravan master, insists it's a bad omen. Alright, you two are Christians, and you view that as a bad omen? All I say is that we should pray. Blessed journey. I pray to see how, in fact, the party spirits lift, and the journey continues under a more favorable sky. This is fine. Magamita, treat him. All is at the market of Masana. His touch is called by a criminal chain in the pillory. Masana watched for a while. When he did nothing to cough and beg for water, Masana rose his eyes and kept on walking. No, child. No, child. Bring the poor man the water he asks for. That's the Buddhist way. Entering into Ragusa, Night of the Masks. As I make my way through the hilly terrain of medieval Ragusa, the sun begins to set, casting long shadows over the landscape. Suddenly the quiet evening is pierced by the sound of music and laughter. Turning a corner, me and my party come across a vibrant parade of citizens, all dressed in elaborate costumes and masks. This is the Night of the Masks, a traditional celebration in which the people of Ragusa shed their daily identities and become whoever they wish to be for the night. Philippa, a Dalmatian, a local woman, in a beautiful mask of a peacock, approaches me and my party. She invites me to join the festivities, offering a selection of masks and costumes. Participating could be a fun diversion and a way to bond with the locals. And you also know that the events like these can often lead to unexpected happenings. Well, let's observe from a distance. Missed opportunity. By keeping my distance, I missed a chance to bond with locals. Oh, that had a bad outcome for once. Let's get out of this country and into the Adriatic. And we will actually stop recording here. Wait until it's officially at Adriatic Sea. There. So we will end the episode on that note. In the next episode, we'll be on our way back home, and then it's going to be a long trip, about 23 months. Still a long way. And we got to set things right. Because purification's in the lead again. But it's still, I mean, either phase is better than degeneration and all that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was the trip to Yugoslavia, basically. Even though it's only Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia, and Montenegro. With these regions. I wanted to go over there just to show you people in that mod showcase for regional travel events of its recent update. Again, I didn't experience all the events because each of these duchies have 5 or 6 of these events, both regular and dangerous, and it's terrain dependable. I didn't get to experience all of it, but it's a good example of what they might be like. So there you have it. So in the future, for updates for that mod, they're going to expand to more areas of adding more regional events for all the areas of the Roman Empire or Byzantine Empire. That's what's planned for the mod creator. So again, it was a fun little experience that I wanted to show you. So we wanted to take a break from Sri Lankan politics and go to over there and back. Although we'll be on our way back, just not with much money, unfortunately. Guess that's the way it's going to be. See if we can survive sea travel in the next episode and hopefully be back home, because we got a lot of work to do. So, join us on our next episode. And until then, so long for now.